listening to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and MP. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey.
We got quite a bit to get through, obviously, with the fallout from the Royal Rumble still being felt across SmackDown and Raw, and we've also got to put a little bit of time aside to preview NXT 2.0's special episode next week with Vengeance Day. So we may be jumping around the card, but the first thing I think we got to talk about is a certain 89-year-old superstar decided to return and challenge our head of the table.
Yeah, he's going to get his head knocked off.
You really think so?
Yes. They've not given Roman Reigns a 500-plus day reign to have it ended by Goldberg.
Those feel like famous last words.
I see Dolph Ziggler beating Roman Reigns before Goldberg does.
I hope you are right. There should be no way. You know, like, Goldberg keeps returning. Obviously, he's, like, randomly beaten people before, that we said there was absolutely no chance of him coming out and grabbing the title. I'm really hoping this is just a one-off for the Chamber. You know, that big money match is still Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what we're going to get. We're going to get Roman versus Brock. There's no point in doing anything else. If you take the title off of Roman here, there is absolutely no point to Brock winning the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, just strap him with the WWE Championship again, and say F everything, and set it all ablaze.
Yeah, it kind of does, as you say, make no sense, right? Because Brock's two options with the Rumble is either WWE or Universal, but he's picking Roman Reigns. I guess the only other thing he could do would be to, like, throw the Royal Rumble stuff out the window and be like, I don't care if this guarantees you a WrestleMania title shot, I just want a shot of Reigns at the WrestleMania, regardless of title. But I don't see them doing it. That's not a very logical direction for them to take this feud.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not, and it would be a bad precedent for that particular match.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can get that there's some matches are bigger than a title, but at no point do you ever want it to appear that a match is bigger than a title at WrestleMania, especially the top title.
Yeah.
You would rather have that top title be that match.
I think the real question with the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar stuff is, will one title or two titles be involved? I don't think the question is, will 0 titles be involved?
Once Brock won the Rumble, the question of 0 titles being involved went out the window.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't take anything out the window at the moment. Severely sunk down into the snow, never to be seen again unless it excruciatingly heats up all of a sudden and it melts everything around it. But yeah, it should have gone out the window for sure, and that probably means Goldberg's going to come back, get his payday, do 2 minutes, and then fall down while Roman Reigns racks up yet another high caliber opponent on his list of people that he's defeated, as you say, in this 520-odd day reign.
Yeah, the list of people that he's beaten in this reign is quite impressive.
I'll see if I can get it up. I'm tippy-tapping now. Sorry for the listeners who just had to hear tippy, tippy, tap, 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 tap. Who we got here? Technically, he didn't beat Seth, so I'll roll further back on that one. What do we got? We got John Cena, we got Finn Balor, we got the Usos, we got Kevin Owens, we got Brock Lesnar technically, we got Sami Zayn, can't forget Sami Zayn. It is a long list of your top dudes. Edge, Rey Mysterio, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan and Edge. Daniel Bryan a couple more times. Kevin Owens a couple more times, Braun Strowman, and
Bray
technically,
Wyatt.
technically the Fiend in a triple threat match as well. It's it's been a good old run for the man. It would be a shame to see it all end with Goldberg.
Yeah.
And
Why
then
it won't end with Goldberg.
Oh, you stop! You be so confident about it. That's never going to go well. Let's not be confident.
I have a good record of being confident about something happening, though.
Yeah, I guess. Something that we do know is going to happen is that Charlotte has got her WrestleMania challenger.
Yeah. I think that was actually the route I had said when we were talking about if Rousey enters the match, she's probably going to go after Charlotte. Especially after the Rumble.
Yeah.
They put all the seeds there in that match, especially with the look and stuff that Charlotte had when Ronda's music hit. And that also allows for the storyline to continue with Bianca heading against Becky.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes the most sense, as they've been building that for better part of 6 months.
Yeah, I think the interesting part to this whole segment on Raw is that the way they played it, where they were sort of letting Charlotte pick her own opponent, and, you know, they named Sasha Banks as her WrestleMania opponent, and then obviously it's switched around with Ronda Rousey saying, no, I'm challenging Charlotte, let's go. But in theory, Sasha Banks got to feel pretty ripped off at that. And it's hard to see anything massive, I guess, lined up for Sasha Banks at WrestleMania, given I am 99.9% sure Rousey Flair will be a singles match. There will be nothing added to that. And yeah, she's on SmackDown unless she jumps ship over to face Becky, which, as you say, her number one contender likely to be Bianca Belair coming out of the chamber.
Yeah. I don't really think that's a big deal with the whole switcheroo, because that was the whole point of it. Make people think Charlotte wanted somebody, and then, of course, Ronda comes out and says, no, I'm your opponent. I'm going to kick your butt and then shove this title down your throat.
And we'll have to see what happens in terms of whether that happens or not. We don't know if Ronda Rousey's going to be sticking around a long time, short time, medium time, or anywhere in between. So who knows? We'll find out, obviously, in the next couple months as we lead up into WrestleMania, once we get through Elimination Chamber and we get out the other side and are truly on that fast lane to WrestleMania. Someone else, though, I guess, whose future was a little uncertain, but we've kind of solidified, Drew McIntyre. Still not 100% sure if the guy is perfectly cleared and ready to go. There seem to be a lot of ums and ahs about it, but he's back. He's kicking Madcap Moss in the face and seemingly setting himself up to have a match against Happy Corbin at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's not a bad match. I mean, it's on the card. It's not in a battle royal.
That's a dig at me, yep.
No, it's a dig at the battle royal.
Fair.
So yeah, obviously I think Drew would win. But yeah, it does depend on the health of Drew McIntyre. But it should be an interesting match if they do get to have Corbin versus McIntyre. Because both can go, especially for being bigger dudes.
Yeah. Well, talking about, I guess, different combinations of people and different styles and how they can all still go, something I do want to touch on quickly before we head to the song is Raw is kind of encapsulated by this chamber match now, and we're seeing all sorts of combinations of, you know, Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory, Riddle versus Rollins and Owens versus RK Bro. I don't quite know where we're headed with all of that just yet.
No.
It's a bit of a mystery.
No, we definitely don't know where they're going with the whole chamber. I really do think Owens and Rollins is an eventual tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we need bodies in the tag team division. Might as well throw two of your top stars together if you're not going to put them in a main event storyline. At least it's doing something with them, and it also will ease things once RK Bro does explode.
Yeah.
Which we don't know if it's actually going to happen anymore or not. But it would definitely be a +1, -1 situation. To get another formidable tag team between stars to replace the one that's leaving.
Yeah.
The division. I think it all really depends on that chamber match. We're kind of in a holding pattern, largely because we don't know what the plans are. If it's going to be a title unification match or not. If it's not, I know we love the Almighty as champion. I don't see him walking out with the championship, though.
You have talked to me about this RK Bro for the championship match in your head that you keep bringing up.
Well, yeah. I've been hearing a lot of rumors about them doing a match at WrestleMania and it being for the title. I do think, and I think this is why they probably put the title on Lashley, is so that there's somebody who can legitimately take out Lesnar and make it make sense. So that he doesn't have to do anything with Riddle.
Yeah, it's a slightly confusing one, right? Because you could have just as easily have not put Lesnar in the chamber. You could have had him go off and do something else in this prior part, but there is a lot of names in that chamber, and it's a real tough one to figure out where we are going to go with it. I could still see Roman Reigns, Shawn Michaeling his way into the chamber. I could still see a number of things stopping Brock Lesnar from winning. It is my preference to not have a title unification. So anything that eliminates Brock would make me a happy boy.
Yeah, I expect Roman to get involved again. My guess is that it'll be down to the final three. My guess is probably be Riddle, Lashley, and then Lesnar. Lesnar looks like he's about to clean house when suddenly one of the panels is moved, and as Roman comes out and spears his head off. And that allows Lashley to quickly pin him, and then Riddle wins with the Bro Derek.
Yeah. I'm happy with that. Therefore, I'm going to pretend that is what happens when it eventually doesn't and Brock Lesnar wins. I'm going to tell myself that was exactly the sequence that played out. But we are roughly halfway into the show. We got a lot of NXT Vengeance Day to talk about when we come back. But it is time now to go into our entrance theme of the week. Josh has selected for us this week, lovingly, the theme of China. And you're back to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and NPR. I'm Grady, he's Josh. NXT Vengeance Day. We got 5 matches on the cards. Let's just start, I guess, straight at the top. Cameron Grimes getting his shot at the NXT North American Championship against Carmelo Hayes.
This should be an interesting and entertaining match. I'm not at all sure. I don't think, as much as I love Cameron Grimes, I don't think he's going to be the one to take down Carmelo.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be happily surprised if he is. But that almost certainly would then mean Carmelo's going after our NXT champion. But I think the AB champion retains his title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tough one. Obviously, Carmelo been doing wonders with this championship, just sort of merged them with Roderick Strong's title. Now it's sort of, as you say, the sole secondary title. Whether, it's secondary or not, whatever Carmelo wants to say here, but him and Trick Williams have been doing pretty well. defending and holding on to this strap. And Cameron Grimes, as awesome as he is and as entertaining as he is, has been a comedy character in the lead up to this and in the last over 12 months probably. Whether he could take out Carmelo Hayes and end that title reign or not, it doesn't feel like what's going to happen, but I've been fooled before.
Yeah, they've surprised us before. I mean, it's not like Santino Marella didn't win the Intercontinental Championship in his first night out.
It's true. They've definitely done wilder things for sure. Hey. And if we're talking about wilder things, I just want to bring up that Pete Dunne versus Tony D'Angelo, the next match we're going to talk about, is a weaponized steel cage match. That's all.
Yeah, probably something they borrowed from in Impact Wrestling.
But I think it's more the competitors to talk about coming up into that one with Pete Dunne and Pete Dunne and Tony D'Angelo. I guess one of the holdouts from NXT 1.0 going up against one of the stars of NXT 2.0.
Yeah. This should be an interesting match and seeing how they work it. It's clearly they're going to have weapons all over the steel cage. That's the whole point. I think this is a way of maybe neutralizing what would obviously be Dunn's advantage in this match. Since he is the bruiserweight. I think I'll pick D'Angelo to win.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we've just... So many times I've bet against the 2.0 guys and they've proven me wrong. I feel like I can't bet against the 2.0 guys again. I got to put my money on Tony D'Angelo. Unfortunately for Pete Dunne, I don't know what his future holds. There was a lot of main roster whispers about him, whether he goes there, whether he stays down in NXT 2.0. Absolute mystery to me right now. I just don't see him walking out the winner of this whatever zany steel cage match they're going to end up having.
Yeah. And it's nothing against Pete himself. It's just, I think they have more invested right now in Tony than Pete.
Mm-hmm. And we've got 3 more matches still to talk about. Let's go to the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Grand Finals. Off one side of the bracket, we have MSK, and off of the other side of the bracket, we have the brand new Creed Brothers.
Please, for the love of God, give me the Creed Brothers. MSK is fine. They're a good tag team, but they had the titles for almost a year, and they won this event last year.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want them anywhere near here. Creed Brothers would be something new, and I don't remember seeing a one-on-one match between the Creed Brothers and Imperium.
I personally would look forward to it. I've loved everything that Diamond Mine has done. Malcolm Bivens is a mouthpiece, whether it's the Creeds or Roderick or Ivy. Really enjoying it. So Creed Brothers all the way. They were my pick at the start. I obviously had a bit of a different bracket to get them here, but been hoping for the Creed Brothers. Be great to see them grab that Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic and cement themselves in that tag team division as well.
Yeah. Plus they get a future tag team title match. That's another reason why I want the Creed Brothers to win, because it would make MSK the first 2-time winners, but MSK doesn't need that title match.
They've had it a few times.
Yeah. Yeah, give us something new. Give us something different. Let's have the Creed Brothers win.
And then if we jump into the women's division, there's some spicy stuff that isn't necessarily referenced here on Vengeance Day, so we are going to just talk about that as well. Obviously, women's champion Mandy Rose not defending at the moment. Just had a match against Kaylee Ray on NXT 2.0. Interference, screwy finish, and Io Shirai getting herself involved at the end there. It looks like she's got quite a line of challengers standing up, wanting a shot at Mandy Rose. So don't quite know what direction we're going to go with her, but first off, Toxic Attraction have to successfully defend their titles at Vengeance Day against Indy Hartwell and Persia Pirotta.
Yeah, this will be a good match, but I don't see our girl Indy walking out with the title.
It's fine. I win regardless. Either my girl Gigi Dolan wins or my girl Indy Hartwell wins, so I'm happy regardless.
Yeah, I think Toxic Attraction retains here. I think it's more important for the storyline for them to hold on to their titles for the time being before everything starts falling apart and they start bickering.
Yeah, they've sort of built quite a bit into this triple champion concept with the three of them in Toxic Attraction that it would be a bit of a shame to start falling off that bandwagon already. And as much as I love Indy and Persia, I feel like the cracking and the crumbling of that needs to be a bigger thing. And I just feel like Indy and Persia winning the Women's Tag Team Championships just doesn't feel like a big moment to start that. I feel like something more along the lines of whether it is, Io Shirai, whether it is Kaylee Ray, whether it's Cora Jade, Dakota Kai, anybody really taking that title off of Mandy Rose instead, that feels like a bigger moment and a bigger thing. I'm with you. I don't see Indy and Persia coming out the winners here in this match.
Yeah. I do think that of the three, the tag team titles are more likely to be lost first. So I do think if we start to go down that route where they're starting to maybe bicker, or maybe Toxic Attraction starts realizing that Mandy's just using them, they will lose their titles first.
Okay. We can agree to disagree in that front.
So yeah, so that's why I'm not like 100%. I don't think Indy and Persia will win. Will lose here. Will win this match, but because there's always the outside chance that they could.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've only got a couple more minutes left, so let's quickly slot in this NXT Championship match. Bron Breakker will be defending against Santos Escobar, but we also got a bit of an appearance on NXT of one Dolph Ziggler poking his nose in as well. So much like the women's champion, it seems like the NXT champion has quite a line of competitors there.
Yeah. I think having his first title defense being Santos, I think is a good thing. It'll show off what Braun can do outside of Ciampa, and it does give somebody that you know is not going to beat him, even with all the extra help of all his extra minions. And then you have a main roster guy that can help elevate the person you're trying to build the entire brand around. I got no complaints with that.
Are you saying that if Dolph Ziggler and Bron Breakker were to eventually have a match for the NXT Championship, that you will be giving Dolph Ziggler's chance of winning?
I'm not. Maybe. Probably not, though. I'll probably give him a Vince McMahon chance.
Yeah, as you say, Bron Breakker is the guy. He is NXT 2.0. That logo might as well be tattooed on his chest, as ugly as it is. I don't see him dropping the belt to Santos. I'll be honest, at the moment, I do not see him dropping the belt anytime soon. This guy is going to run roughshod over this division until his time finally comes. The only thing that I think is going to cut this run short possibly would be a main roster call-up for him. He firmly has the jetpack applied to his back, and they have put it on full blast.
Yeah. Although it wouldn't be the first time if they had him just bring the title with him and just defended it whenever he was on 2.0 and still be dominant.
It's true.
All I have to do is look at Kevin Owens in his debut. So, yeah, I mean, you're right in that after WrestleMania, I do think there's an outside chance that they may call him up. I don't think it's a great chance, but nothing would surprise me. I guess we will know more once we get to the takeover special right before WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. That
Whatever
should
they
be
decide
quite
to
tough.
call it. And it obviously won't be called the takeover.
Yeah.
Whatever they call the special. So yeah, I think we've got a long. I think we have probably 3 to 6 months of him running roughshod over the division before somebody eventually is built to the point where they can take him down, and it could group us right back to the first match, being Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah. Who knows what we're going to see on NXT 2.0? We will find out next week when we get back to you with the results from NXT Vengeance Day. But for now, we have run all out of time. It's been great talking to you, Josh.
Baby.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlingRND or our Twitter page, twitter.com/WrestlingRND or our YouTube page, youtube.com/WrestlingRND and we will catch you next week.